Ooh, happy early Thanksgiving. So that is my amiibo of the greatest Nintendo Switch 2 game you'll ever play, right? If I had to rank these, I say Nintendo Switch 2 would have, if you had to rank these, okay, here are the top five, okay? Donkey Kong Bonanza, then Kirby Air Riders, because who doesn't like Sakurai? Maybe Sakurai will be the president of Nintendo Japan. Then I would say, let's go with Mario Kart World at number three, Pokemon ZA at number four, and then Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment number five. This is um, this is a true force loneliness check-in. Happy early Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Um, I am having Thanksgiving by myself. There's a burger place all within a block of here that I'm going to try to pick up some food and have that for Thanksgiving. I have a lasagna as well. Turkey's fine. There's nothing wrong with turkey, but I become less traditional. You know, my family has spent we have spent most of our lives being angry with each other, either hating each other or hating on each other or capping. You know, if we're not hating each other, we're capping and we're bullshitting each other. We're bullying. We're throwing our fists out and hitting each other. But when you take away all the negativity that my family has wrought upon itself, there's nothing there. It's like close your eyes. What do you see? Nothing. Nothing, right? So there's nothing there. So I think that's one of the main reasons family Thanksgivings in my family do not work. It would be interesting to go to somebody else's family for Thanksgiving, but you know, who would invite my ass? So that's why I don't do it. I just don't really do it. I've stopped being traditional because it doesn't work. You know, what is it like? Bart Simpson didn't apologize. Remember, that's one of the Thanksgiving. Everybody remembers the Peanuts Thanksgiving, and you remember, Little Birdie and what is it? It was jelly bean marshmallow mayonnaise sandwich. I forget what kind of sandwiches that Snoopy and Woodstock made. But at the end of the episode, they would go off to Grandma's house. But that Thanksgiving is not as memorable. There was Garfield's Thanksgiving, and there's been other ones. Remember Alf's Thanksgiving, right? Uh, in pod form. But then there was the Thanksgiving with the Simpsons, in which Bart Simpson acts stupid, right? You had Grandma Marge, right? Marge's mom. You had the Patty and Selma. You had all these people. You had Abe Simpson, and everybody acts dumb. So Homer sends Bart to his room because he didn't apologize to his grandmother or whatever. So they run off. They run away from home, and then they have a nice, quiet Thanksgiving at night, which is, that's the one I remember the most. But of all which Thanksgiving special do you all remember? So my nose is stuffy. It is cold season. It is very cold. It is not cold right now. I think the temperature is about 70 degrees. So if the temperature's like 50 degrees or less, we're fucked, right? Um, you try to keep your head held up high. You have whatever the fuck you want for Thanksgiving. Now, right now, um, or even like the Pioneer Chicken near my house closes early. But I already had Pioneer Chicken for Amaya Sunday for just to kind of impress her a bit. Well, it's not impressive. It's kind of sad, right? But I wanted to show her that. I wanted to show Amaya that this is what I do for Thanksgiving. And watching The French Connection, because I didn't watch it last year, I watched The Towering Inferno. It was good to watch it again. It was just a nice special. And since it's technically a Christmas movie, just like Rambo, it is. There's a lot of Christmas movies. Like everybody says Die Hard, but there's all kinds of Christmas movies. I can't think of other ones that are just like the holidays, but there's guns going about. Now the only other movie there's Avatar to look forward to. There's also the 20-sided tavern, which is an interactive play that I would like to go and try out at least once. Um, After that, I don't know. It's been a rough year. My mom having passed. People in this family do not talk to each other. People in this family just do whatever they want. I have yet to try out Hinge. I have the Hinge app, and I always get these matches for Facebook, but they never amount to a damn thing. I matched with somebody. I don't think I talked about this. Okay, But if you know who Grace Lee Whitney was from Star Trek, if you try to imagine Grace Lee Whitney from the 1960s and 1970s when she was in her late 20s, early 30s to 40s, that's what this woman I matched with looked like. And she never got back to me. I waited, hey, how's it going? I gave her 2 messages over 2 days, and that was it. And I don't know what her problem was. I don't know what her deal was. I'm like, lady, we matched. Do you not want to talk to me? Am I too hideous for you? I don't look like a soap opera star. Is that it? I'm not Lance Sterling, right? I'm not this guy that you are looking for. Like, sorry, just that's. If Facebook said we matched, at least write me back, but she never did. That's how it is. Um, what else is going on? Oh, Warner Brothers is um, holding out for another week. What do they want? Do they want to get? Does David Zaslav want to be free of the DC universe and Looney Tunes or not? What does he want? What I get tired of these people who buy up properties and they didn't care about them in the first place. That's why these companies fail. Okay? Did Kathleen Kennedy really care about Star Wars when she was taking over as president? No. That's the thing George Lucas warned us about, but he kind of betrayed himself. He did the very thing he shouldn't have done, which was to give over Star Wars to somebody who didn't give a shit, like Bob Iger. Okay, with the characters that I created, or even the characters that I'm using, Mickey Mouse, Buck Rogers, I don't know. I hadn't paid much attention to them, but I am paying more attention to it, and I can see myself in these things. Tim Burton, when he did Batman, he didn't see the other Batman comic books, but he saw like a handful, and he figured out the best way to approach doing the Batman movies. So that's about it. I'm going to pick up, if you follow me on X, you kind of know which game this will be. I'm going to get a game for Black Friday sale, and I have a feeling that this game, this game has been out on the Nintendo Switch for a long time, and it's been out for I think 14 years. So you'll know what game this is. But yeah, uh, it's just frustrating. I'm just trying to keep my schedule going because I'm going to work on my comic strips in a minute. It's hard to see my face. But with women, it's tough. Facebook is a joke. Hinge may be a joke as well. It's a joke these days to pick up on anybody. Tom Likas is not your hero. Sorry, Tom Likas is still on Blue Sky. The last time I checked, he's not returned on. If Tom Likas was a true male in the male model sense, okay, your hero, the person you look up to, he would be back on X. Okay, people are still driving cyber trucks are political cars, and if you're driving one, you either don't care who the president is or you voted for Trump. Which reminds me that Steve Hilton is still the best candidate for governor. Yeah, so I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to make more videos. Try to get myself out there more. I can't do the exact same content all the time because sometimes people get bored of it. And I've been playing around with the TV. As you can see, the best TV ever, right? I've got 2 TVs, and I have to get a new antenna, I think, to get the best reception. And here's the board game, still in progress. When the last Pac-Man is gone in this section, then the game is over, and you just tally it. So the pallets don't matter, but in the first game they do matter. I think it's over here. Yeah. So here, yeah. See. But collecting the power pellets does matter. And the ghost movements are decided by cards. And they can all move at the same time. You know what I mean? But in the other game, it's one or any one ghost can move and there's mods. So it's a very tricky 2 sets of boards. But I can modify it based on the Pac-Man games I played. I'm hoping I can get some reception on that video because, hey, look, it's a sequel to the 675,000 video. I'm not much of a football fan, so I'm not worried about NFL. I'm not worried about turkey. I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I think the thing is that Thanksgiving is overrated. Thanksgiving to me, I'll close out what the meaning of Thanksgiving is, okay? Besides Zelda 2 and in San Diego and cartoons and stuff. It's about, to me, two different groups of people who are at war with each other, okay? Who can put their bullshit aside. If Democrats and Republicans could have a feast together and act like, because I mean, there would be roasts, right? Remember the roasts? Like Letitia James was at Donald Trump's roast. Yeah, people could put their bullshit. If Jim Gaffigan could go to Donald Trump's roast, okay, that's kind of what Thanksgiving is, and you have a nice feast, okay. You see people who you haven't seen in a long time. They talk about their colonoscopy or politics, but they get off the politics, talk about colonoscopy, and then they talk about. I guess even talking about sports is bad because people argue about sports. Uh, what could they talk about? Oh, AI. You know, AI imagery. You know, you can't. How much arguing could you do at the table with AI imagery? Talking about AI, and it's just getting with people you haven't seen in a long time. But my extended family I haven't seen in a long time, but except at my mom's funeral in July. But I think I've seen enough of those people. You know, it's better to see people that you want to see that you haven't seen in a long time. So it's coping through the holidays, and it's going to get more depressing as we get to Christmas. I will be here with you in spirit. Well, not in real life and in spirit. That means I will not die unless I will myself to die. And there's another anniversary for Batman Beyond that I'll cover in December. And there's a lot more things. I just want to kind of check in with everyone, and if you are alone and Kowalski, I hope you're doing well. Tell me what you've been up to. Write a comment. Martel, I see you as well. Martel, and hopefully you're doing all right. Martel and Kowalski, check out my comic strip shorts, Mickey's Metal, as well as Buck Rogers. There's a lot more stuff that's coming out, and I'm going to continue covering the Steam Deck. Oh yeah, that's the thing, Steam Deck. The last thing I'll say is, I see who hates the Steam Deck. Cough Neon from Clownfish and also Review Fart USA. They don't like the Steam Deck. They don't like Steam. They keep saying, "Oh, what is it?" Rich said, "Oh, I went to Best Buy and they're overcharging for Steam stuff." I'm like, Best Buy does what the fuck they want to do. I told you all where you could go. I even talked about getting a Steam Deck for under $300 like last year or two. Okay? If Valve could make a Steam Deck LCD like 128 gigabyte or 64 gigabyte model without desktop mode, and it's the size of my phone, okay? Or even like it's the size of this. Okay, let's say this is the Steam Deck Lite, okay? Here, right? See how small that is? If they could sell that for under 300, $249.99, you get a 64 gigabyte or 128 gigabyte Steam Deck. No desktop mode, but it functions like a Steam Deck. You only have the game mode. Then it's a good way. At that point, you're competing with the console market. You're trying to get the console people, the Sony PlayStation people, like, oh, this is a cheap. I wonder what else is there, right? It's the loss leader. So Valve will have to make a loss leader to compete with whatever's going on with their more expensive stuff. They're gonna wreck the console market. They're not gonna compete with it. They're gonna wreck it. Okay, and that's what needs to happen to really come out on top. Nintendo getting a Switch 2 is too much work. Getting a PS6 is too much work. 10 tech demos for the PS6, right? And then I saw something about Campbell's Soup. I'm gonna have to get Amy's. We'll see about getting Amy's organic soup. But between what happened with Campbell's Soup and what's going on with Nintendo and Sony, and you know me, I'm not Tyrone. I don't chase ambulances. I cover news stories that concern me or what I feel. And so if I don't feel it, I don't do it. And that's it. That's what I'm about. So this is just to check in and see what's been going on. And now I've got more important things to do. More important matters. I got to do Mickey's Metal number 23. And I don't know what the title of that one is. The goal is to get to 63 parts. Then I'll do John Carter of Mars and then other IPs, and we'll go from there.